what up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, good morning. You guys already know who this is, JP with P&P. Here dropping some knowledge, dropping some seeds to help you guys grow your business. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today is a good day. Today is Tuesday, August 10th, I think it is. I'm about 10 days away from my birthday, so a little bit excited about that. But wanted to talk to you guys about, I don't think I've talked about this in any of the past videos, but it's, the sales process. The sales process to me is like a 4-stage process. What does that mean? Okay, well, a 4-stage process is number one, pre-qualification, right? We talk about this day in, day out, day in, day out. I drill this in my agent's brain because it's so important that you have to understand that you got to diagnose the problem. The pre-qual stage allows you to help you diagnose the problem. Doesn't mean you're going to, you're going to get 100% of the answers, because sometimes, customers hold back information, and it's not until we meet with them that they release that information, which is during the presentation. So number one, pre-qualification, right? And there's stages to that as well, right? So if you want to dive a little bit deep on that, I can go through that. Number one is knowing what to say, knowing how to say it, right? Your tonality, body language, so on and so forth. And then the most important one is understanding the response that you're getting from the customer, because that is so important. We got to listen, we got to hear. Most of the time as salespeople, we want to be the salesperson, keep talking, you don't never shut up or listen. So super important that you understand that the pre-qual stage is so important. I don't know how much more I can emphasize that. So that's important. The other thing also that's very important is the presentation, right? And there's levels to that presentation. It's number one, if you have a canned presentation, you don't have to worry about what to say. Why? Because your presentation already has all the questions you're going to be asking. So therefore, you don't have to think about what you have to ask, right? Because it's already written. So that's number one. Number two is, again, back to how are you presenting this information, because it is a presentation, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people don't understand that, but when you're having a conversation with the customer, you are presenting your product, right? Your facial features, your body language, your tonality, you're listening, you're responding, you're allowing the customer to finish their explanation before you open up your mouth, right? You got to process it. You got to acknowledge what they're saying, right? So that's super important. And then number three is identifying any issues that are going to be potential issues that may potentially cause a cancellation, or hopefully a problem only that can be solved. So being ahead of the problem, right? During the presentation, I'm gathering all this intelligence, I'm gathering all this information, because I want to make sure that when I put this property on the market, or when I put it under contract, that we're going to be able to get to the finish line. So that's number two, the presentation. Number three, excuse me, going to work. The cross qualification, getting the offers, the open house, your 21-step process, right? From beginning to end. So if you don't have a 21-step process, how are you going to present your product? How are you going to show the customer what it is you're going to be doing for them? Or you're going to be the talker, right? Show them is much more stronger than telling them. Telling is selling. Super important that you teach them, show them the process so they can visually see that. So that's important. So we go through that process, right? Hopefully you get them closed. Hopefully you close escrow. Fantastic. Obviously there might be some issues, some problems that come up. You got to fix that. That's during, the working stage, right? The stage where you're, in escrow, or so on and so forth. But this one here is the one that everybody misses. And this is the, how do you, cultivate this relationship with these customers? You just went to hell and back. You battled for these folks, right? Sellers, buyers, whoever it is. You got them closed. You got them keys. Probably one of the happiest times in their life. And where we fail at is we don't follow up. We don't follow up. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. In my career as a realtor, as a broker, as an active listing agent, buyer's agent as well, one of the biggest failures that I had in my business, that now that I look back at it, is I had so much of my business, and my brother's my witness, I had so much business that was returning customers, returning business. So I did follow up. I just didn't do as much as I should have. What does that mean? Reaching out to my past customers. There should be a process. The minute you close a customer, You completely forget about them. Most realtors do. Most realtors don't even call them back. So it's important that you cultivate that relationship, because you might think, well, I already made one check. What you're not understanding is that person is going to know people in their lifetime, 10, 20 years. They're going to want to buy a home. That customer can bring you 10 customers back, aside from them returning back to, get the bigger house or the smaller house or whatever the case is. So ask yourself the question right now in your business: what are you doing to cultivate that business once you close these customers? Are you calling them? Are you sending them are you putting them on a mailing campaign? I'm telling you, that is going to be your biggest failure. That is where you're always going to be hunting, right? And I'm sorry, my hand is getting a little tired here with this freaking phone. But that's where you're going to lose a lot of customers. And you don't understand, you're not losing one customer. You're losing 10, 20 customers that customer could have recommended to you. My business, thank God, even to this day, I still got returning customers, right? From 20 years ago, guys, not from last year. I got customers coming back from 20, 25 years ago when I got into the business. I swear to you. It's a beautiful thing when you can cultivate that kind of relationship. But how do you cultivate that? By calling them, sending them mailer letters, sending maybe a little letter on their birthday. We tend to focus a lot of our time on hunting, looking for new business and looking for new business, and we forget that we did all the hard work, we got these folks in our pocket, and we forget about them. And it's almost like, well, they know who the realtor is. No, they don't. Even family members will forget about you. And I'm telling you from personal experience, learn to cultivate that. So that's a 4-stage process for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. The pre-qualification, the presentation, the part where we go to work for them, right? Put them in escrow, whatever the case is. And then the fourth is super vital, just like everything else, is cultivating that relationship. Put them on mailer campaign. Give them a call every month, every other month, right? Reach out to them. How are they doing? How's the house, right? Let them know you're still in the business. Just because you close that transaction, we're not done here, right? If I was to recommend you anything in real estate, anything that I would say was a key to my success, I would say cultivating those relationships, because that one customer will get you 10. So instead of you getting that customer, selling them a house, and then forgetting about them, you cultivate that relationship. Those folks know a lot of folks. And guess what? When they recommend you, it's so much more easier to work with these type of customers, because they trust you already, because cousin recommended them. They trust a cousin. So indirectly, they trust you. Something to think about. I highly would recommend that you start a mailing campaign for your past customers. Most of us do mailing campaigns for new customers. What about your past customers? Think about it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Peace out. Take care.
I was a bat out of hell. One look at me, you think that I was destined to fail. 16 with the homies, ended up in a cell. And my crimes got much bigger on a different scale. Used to run around the hood, throwing my name up. Now they can't tame me and can't smoke enough. Man, this shit getting old, must be growing up. Any lesson life was teaching, I was showing up. You know I gotta thank my mama for her holding us down. 4 kids, she a soldier, nothing breaking her down. Welfare, food stamps, and toast to the ground. She the reason why we get it, how we getting it now. And thank God for my big bro Lorenzo, yo. Put some clothes on our backs when our funds got low. Yeah, I really came from nothing, I stay humble, bro. Grind hard and I hustle, that's the life I know. Yeah, so many things done changed. Deep rooted with my brothers, they gon' know our name. Told Ricardo, ain't no felon, we gon' kill this game. And if we take a couple losses, we gon' build on pain. See, whatever didn't break us, that's what's making us now. 17 became a father, had a reason to smile. You go hard or go broke, you can't live in denial. I chose one, went dumb and started winning in style. Fast forward 10 years, selling cribs to the people. 5 companies deep, hardest working Latinos. All muscle boy like a 6'5" El Camino. We the Ponce brothers, reppin' San Bernardino. Yeah, we do this for familia. You know, behind every great man is a great woman holding us down. Yeah. And our seeds are the next generation. And we teach them everything we know, so that they may build on what we built, until they all the way up.